Today we're going to be talking about the Booyah swimming jig. This one's going to be a 3/8 ounce. I really like these jigs. I've been using these jigs for a while now. There's a couple things you should be doing to them. Otherwise you'll have trouble on the water with them. But other than that, it's a great bait. I'm going to take mine out of the package. I got a black and chartreuse. They come with an Excalibur TX3 hook. You get in 3/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce. They come in different color, just a few selection like white and black and blue. I love black and blue. You know, Louisiana, black and blue stands for, you know, those crawfish are starting to molt and they turn black and blue, and it's easier for the bass to eat. Today I got the black and chartreuse, but usually I have a black and blue rigged on. I'm going to be showing you today how to cut it and then how to rig it up just a little bit. Sometimes you want to keep the skirt on long, sometimes you want to make the skirt just a little bit short. It's called matching the hatch, and depending on your forage and what they're eating on out there, I typically like to make it long or short. Summertime I like it big, some people like it small. I like it big because I feel like, you know, their metabolism is just at all-time high. They tend to eat a lot, so they go for a bigger bait. Whenever the water gets a little bit colder, I go a little bit smaller, so I start to cut the skirt and cut the trailers onto these bait. So here we go. You know, take the top. Alright you guys, the first thing you're going to need, well, not the first thing, but you will need super glue. You will need a scissor. And the way you're going to do it is whatever the line of this right here is going to be your guide. So you're going to hold that down and you go right on top of it. And you're going to cut that. That's going to be a low profile, that way you can get down deeper. But only cut it if you don't have a very thick cover. This only for very, you know, typically you only cut it whenever the cover is not so thick. When the cover's thick, just keep your bristles long. I've already cut mine, and what I do, whether I cut it or not, I take my finger and take the two and I split it. So now that it's split, you know, your structure's gonna go side and side of this hook, and whenever the bass bite, the bristles won't touch the hook. So you get an immediate hookup, and a really good hookup at that. Now I want to take the skirt and go ahead and cut it. Normally I look at exactly where the hook's at, but like I said, depending on your situation, I would cut it smaller, or down. This right here, I'll just go with fall pattern, and I make a round. You know, most people like to go one and then side, so it makes like a V cut. I typically like the round cut. I do the round cut because I believe the round cut is much better. So now there you have it. You have a short little thing, goes in there, fish kind of sees it and attacks at it. And alright, now a lot of anglers out there, they go out there with this and they just throwing it. All they do is cut the skirt, cut the top, and then they're throwing it, and then they realize they lose this guy right here, the most important guy. That guy's like a calling bell, the rattle. So what I do is I take the rattle off, I take my super glue, and I will super glue the rattle around it. Don't worry about your skirt, some of it will get caught onto it, but you know what you're gonna do. And then you're gonna take it and just throw it back in there. Just throw it back in there real fast. You know, kind of wipe the excess. Try not to glue yourself. But once that super glue's on there, you can throw it, catch multiple fish, and you know, it'll last a lot longer. And they use really good skirts. Booyah is probably one of the best jigs I've ever used. I've used different jigs in the past, you know. I like it. I think one of the second best to this is a stone jig, which I can't find anymore, which I can actually design that jig. Really love that jig, just can't find it. I switched over to the Booyah because of the arrowhead. That arrowhead right there allows you to punch through, you know, lily pads, weeds, different stuff like that. And I find that when you're throwing under docks, the wing of it, I guess you could say, well, actually just glide. I've seen it just glide right under there, you know, and then gets me multiple strikes on the bites. I actually also let it sit there. These wings, or I meant the skirt, it'll just kind of, it'll flare up. So whenever that water is moving or the bass comes close to it, it makes the skirt move a little bit more in the water. So it's like a bait that actually works on its own. I've actually gotten bites just leaving it sitting there. you know, I'm filling in with something else, the bait's sitting there, boom, next thing you know I get a bite. And that very reason I get a bite is because the skirt is constantly moving, and that's what you want. So what do I give this? I give it a 5-star. I love the Booyah jig. It's one of the best jigs. Hopefully they come out with a little bit more color is what I'm hoping for. But other than that, this is my go-to. What I also rig it up on, you guys, when you start getting into jigs and you start liking jigs more, you're gonna have to get an 8-foot rod or a little bit bigger. I got mine rigged up with a PT burner and 65-pound braid. You can also go to a 50-pound braid, depending on the cover once again. So if you have a lot of cover, I suggest you use something heavier, but you don't have not so much cover, but then you can get away with 50. But I wouldn't go any less because, you know, one, you gotta try to penetrate the bass's mouth, so you're setting the hook very, very hard. And the Dobbins rod is actually an excellent rod. It's a thick rod, but it's lightweight. And then the 7-to-1 burner, when they grab and start slinging to your boat, boom, set that hook immediately, and you can catch that lineup. You know, it's a very good rig. This right here, I used it on the tournament, but I happened to use it at the end of the tournament on Cattle Lake, which got me 14th place. I was trying to use a jerkbait and different stuff until I finally found out what they were on. By the time I found out what they were on, time was basically up. I had like 45 minutes, caught that one fish in the boat, and I wish I would have used the jig from the start. I mean, the water temperature was low, and I should have known better. Either way, this is my rig. Also, the rod wrap works really well. You know, you get out there, your hands always wet, especially early in the morning, especially during tournaments, and this helps you keep a good grip. This right here will get caught up in your shirt, and then you can set that hook really good. So the wetter the rod wrap gets, the better it is. You know, then this is my black and blue. This is what I rig it up with a black trailer. Sometimes with a blue trailer, just depending on the water clarity and condition. So there you have it. That's my review on the Booyah jig. You guys go out and get one, try it out. You know, let me know what you think about it. So have a good day. God bless. Thank you.